Have you told your friends that you see ghosts?
Oh, absolutely not.
Gina Rodriguez returns in Not Dead Yet.
I'm back, baby.
Who is that?
Oh, she's the obituary writer.
And Brad Garrett joins the brilliant ensemble cast.
Titan, Maverick, Titan of all Mavericks. These are all words used to describe me.
Not Dead Yet. Season premiere. Tonight, 8:30, 7:30 Central on ABC. And stream on Hulu.
It's the Happy Families podcast. It's the podcast for the time-poor parent who just wants answers now.
G'day, my name's Dr. Justin Coulson. I'm here with Kylie, my wife and mum to our 6 kids. Welcome to the Happy Families podcast. Aussie, Aussie, Aussie.
Oi, oi, oi.
That wasn't even pre-planned. I love that. Even though you were born in New Zealand and are now a naturalised Australian, that just came straight out.
Well, let's just say I am Australian.
Yes, you are. Yes, you are.
Long-winded introduction there.
Really hope that you enjoyed the Australia Day long weekend and got heaps out of it. Lots of time with your family. We have a friend who became a naturalised Australian over the weekend. So congratulations to him and anyone else who became an Aussie and is now fortunate to live in such a brilliant, brilliant country. Kylie, all this week, we've got kids right around the nation going back to school. Last week, a couple of states began, but now this week, it's pretty much everybody else, I think. And we decided that we were going to make life as easy as we can for parents this week. Short podcasts for time-poor parents who just want answers now. We're going to give you a slice of advice, a single slice of advice each day to help make things go smoothly with the return to school.
I know you're saying a slice of advice, but I know you too well, and I think that this might be more like a loaf of advice.
We're going to do it really short, okay? We actually put a list together for today, and there's 6 slices of advice. Okay, 6.
So 2 double-decker sandwiches is what we're up for.
What we're doing today is a slice of advice on school lunches because, number one, it's hot, right? And kids don't like hot, mushy food by the time they get to recess and lunch. Number 2, cost of living crunch. Nobody likes making food and seeing it go to waste. And number 3, lunch is it's one of those things, Kylie, where it takes a lot of effort in the morning. It takes a lot of effort to drag out of the kids what they're going to take for lunch. Then it takes effort to make the lunch and to pack the lunch and to make sure it all happens. If we're going to go to the effort of doing what we can to ensure that our children are taking a healthy lunch to school, we want to make sure that it's eaten and that it's worth eating. So 6 slices of advice for how we can get the kids eating their lunch rather than binning it or bringing it home.
First slice. Stick with foods that are familiar to your children. This is not the time to start introducing new foods and trying to extend their taste buds.
Yeah, stretching taste buds is a challenge at the best of time with kids. Full tummy is better than no food in the tummy. So just prioritise sending them to school with food that you know that they're going to eat. That's your first slice of advice. Here's mine. We've done this in our home. This has been one of the most successful things we've done around school lunches. Menu plan. And what I mean by that is literally create a menu like you'd get at at a restaurant.
No, like a roadside motel when you go to those.
Oh, yeah, like the breakfast order thing.
Breakfast order.
Yeah, okay. So in our home, we've created menus with a whole lot of lunch options. What that does is it reduces the cognitive load on a busy morning. Firstly.
For everyone.
It's
kids. Not just mum and dad, because you'll notice that when your kids are rushing around trying to do everything, the last thing that they've got the capacity to do is work out what they want to eat.
And when you're saying, what do you want on your sandwich?
I just
what do you
need
want
you
on
to
your bread
tell me.
roll? Yeah, and they're kind of going, it's all too much. So by building a menu, letting them decide their lunch options and ideally doing it the night before so that way that cognitive load is reduced even more, they're going to feel a sense of ownership. They've chosen what they want, much higher chance of Lunchbox coming home empty with food in their belly. When we've done it, we've given them options for different kinds of breads or bread rolls or wraps that they want in terms of just what the food is going to be placed on or in. We've put all the different salads for them to tick: lettuce, tomato, cheese, onion, sprouts. They never ever ticked sprouts. I don't understand what was going on there. Avocado, the whole lot. And then our job is just to have a look at the menu that they've ticked the night before, make sure the food's in the fridge for the next morning, or race down to the shops and sort that out. And it just
clearly you weren't in the kitchen, because generally what I did was made sure all of those foods were in the fridge for the week, not the night before.
I've done a couple of last minute runs to the shops Believe me. Anyway, menu plan, I think, is going to be a really useful solution and strategy. Put all the different drinks they can have, the different sandwich fillings, the different types of breads they can have, and whatever else you can come up with, leftovers, the whole lot. Let them tick and flick the night before.
Slice number 3. Pre-preparing foods and freezing them. This is awesome. We've done this a lot over the years with the kids, buying things in bulk and then individually wrapping them so that they're just easy to grab out of the freezer. This works for 2 reasons. Number 1, you do the buy once and you've got access to it all week long. But secondly, it really helps with keeping everything fresh. If you're sending your kids to school with a lunchbox that's going to sit in their school bag all day, the colder things are, the fresher they stay for longer.
We have a friend who used to, I think this was lazy, but it was also genius. Why work harder? Just work smarter, right? This friend used to go down to the shops, make the purchase of the bread. They'd come home, lay out all the bread on the bench, put the peanut butter or the Vegemite or whatever the filling was that was going to go onto the bread. Then they'd put all the sandwiches together, stick them back into the bread bag. And each morning, the kids would just reach into the freezer, pull a sandwich out. It was already Glad wrapped ahead of time as well. And so that way they could literally just pull the sandwich frozen out of the freezer, stick it in their lunchbox and off to school. Job done, made things really simple. 4th slice of advice. I'll make this one nice and quick because I've never really been involved in this one. This is probably one that you've done a lot more than me. Baking days. This was your idea, and it's a great idea. Baking days, like on a Saturday, turn it into a ritual, prepare quiches or muffins or other lunch-friendly items that are going to fit in a lunchbox that the kids are going to love, but that you don't have time to prep on a school morning. When you do that stuff, the kids have food they're looking forward to eating. And again, it's probably been in the freezer, so it stays fresh longer. It just works better. Baking days, use the freezer, menu plan, make sure they've got food that they like. I think that we're on a winner here. 2 more slices of advice.
Bento boxes.
Yeah.
These are great for kids who don't actually like committing to one thing. That gives them a taste. It's like a taste plate.
Yeah, or often they don't want a sandwich. They just want a range of foods that aren't sort of smushed between bread.
And so the great thing about this is everything goes in its own little compartment. They can have vegetables, fruit. They can have nuts is a little bit tricky sometimes, but nuts and seeds, dried fruit. They can have meat. There's all the different things that you can have, but it's all individually spaced.
2 things that I love about bento boxes. Number 1, you don't have food mingling, so the flavors stay where they should. Nothing leaks into the other compartments if you've got a good quality bento box. Thing that I like most about bento boxes, the food just looks great when it's all compartmentalized and separated and put in there. It looks good. And when food looks good, when it looks attractive,
the more inviting it is to eat.
Yeah, every Valentine's Day, you make a very special bento box style lunch for our kids with a whole lot of red and pink foods, including way too much sugar. But regardless of that, it all looks so attractive. And the kids, they look forward to their Valentine's lunch more than any other lunch of the year. Okay.
I only have to make 1 Valentine's lunchbox this year.
Final slice of advice. It's a different situation, isn't it?
It is.
For school lunches, and it's probably got less to do with the school lunch and more to do with what your kids are doing. Personal story. As a kid growing up, I had swim squad sessions, up to 10 times a week. So I'd swim from 5 to 7 in the morning, 6 days a week, and 4 afternoons a week. I swam from 5 to 7 as well. In each of those 2-hour sessions, I'd easily be swimming 5, 6, maybe even 7 kilometers. And when you swim that much and use your body that much, you're so hungry you don't actually care what's in your lunchbox so long as you've got a lunchbox with food.
I think you're talking about every boy on the planet.
Pretty much. Move your body or get the kids moving their body a lot. When they move their bodies that much, they just become a whole lot less concerned about what they're eating. All they want is fuel, right? They just want to get those calories in. I used to eat 14 Weet-Bix for breakfast, and then I would take 12 bread rolls from the supermarket with Marmite and butter spread on them. 12 every day. 12 bread rolls, 6 for recess, 6 for lunch. I didn't care what it tasted like. I just wanted the calories because I was so hungry. And I was still skinny as a rake because I just moved my body so much. So stick to familiar foods, ensure that the kids got a full belly, create buy-in through physical activity, plan menus, leverage the power of the freezer and consider innovative lunchbox solutions. That's our half loaf of advice on school lunches. Good luck.
On wholemeal bread.
Good luck. Yeah, that's right. Good luck if the kids are going back to school today or if they're already back. Hopefully these ideas are helpful. The Happy Families podcast is produced by Justin Rulon for Bridge Media. Craig Bruce is our executive producer. And for more information about making your family happy, we'd love for you to check out happyfamilies.com.au or just hang out with us on social media. Dr. Justin Coulston's Happy Families on Facebook, and you can find us on Instagram and TikTok as well.